Hey, just wanted to do a quick little show off of my first anodizing job. This went okay. This was a TwoSun TS249 that I had done a bit more of a review of my first impressions on. And this is what I wound up with based on my anodizing setup. And I was hoping to get a blue, didn't quite get there. You can see a bit more of blue interacting and playing in the scales there with the light. Just kind of cool. This one came out a little bit duller. I think the big mistake I had made was I'd used two different setups. I had used some batteries. I used three 9-volt batteries daisy chained together for my first power supply. Later on I got my hands on a variable voltage power supply. It only goes up to 30 volts, and that's about what these colors I was getting from. I think the issue was I had used the 9-volt batteries that were, who knows what the actual voltage was, first with the baking soda solution that later got contaminated, and was just doing a lot of experimenting on these scales after my first polish job, and didn't quite get the color to pop the way I was hoping for. And after that, I built up the oxide layer, and after I had done a little bit more experimenting, a little too late after that oxide layer was on there. It was definitely tricky from the get-go to try to shine these scales up. I wasn't able to get much of a titanium sheen on these like some of my other titanium frame locks. So that could be part of the reason I'm not getting a huge pop off of them. The other thing I'm definitely questioning is this clip here. It is not magnetic, so I assumed it was titanium, but did not seem to be reacting the same way to the anodization. It turns black and crusty pretty much immediately when I put it in, and I had to sand that off. It's quite etched still on the sides, unfortunately. Yeah. The one definite improvement, though, was with the preparation job I did of soaking the scales and all the parts in isopropyl alcohol for quite a bit just to try to clean it off. That actually removed layers of kind of TwoSun factory mystery goop that apparently all their knives have. So it does actually feel a lot nicer and seems to run a lot smoother since I've done that. The biggest difference where I noticed that actually the cleanup job making an effect is before, when I had this, before I did that, if you got any kind of water like in the pivot area, the knife would be just about freezing up with how gritty and just like stiff the action would be. But this is actually like standing up to that a lot better, I think, just because there's no more bits of gunk and crud that seems to push in or interact with, so that's a help. While I had it apart, I also did what I could to smooth up and polish the internals around the bearings, the little washers that they're using, as well as the tent ball race, or the bearing races, and the tent ball path. Can't necessarily say I felt a difference. And I've lubed everything up with nano oil. So, there you go. It was a project knife. Fair enough. Still impressed with how well it cuts. And it's nice size and everything. So, no. There's a TS249. Bye-bye.